में नित्यानंद महाजन पतियाचे नाम हट जीवेर कारण। पतियाचे नाम हट श्रद्धावान जन है, श्रद्धावान जन है, श्रद्धावान जन है, श्रद्धावान जन है। प्रभुर आज्ञाय भई मागिए भिक्षा, बोलो कृष्ण भजो कृष्ण करो कृष्ण शिक्षा। You can show that. अपराध शून्य होय लोह कृष्ण नाम, कृष्ण माता कृष्ण पिता कृष्ण धन प्राण। नादिया गोत्र में नित्यानंद महाजन पतियते नाम हट जीवेर कारण। कृष्णेर संसार करो छाड़िया नाचार, जीवे दया कृष्ण नाम सर्वधर्म सार। नादिया गोत्र में नित्यानंद महाजन पतियते नाम हट जीवेर कारण। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। निताय गौरंग जय निताय गौरंग, निताय गौरंग जय निताय गौरंग। राधा वृंदावन चंद्र, राधा वृंदावन चंद्र, राधा वृंदावन चंद्र राधे। जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी जय जगन्नाथ, जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा। गोविंद हरि गोविंद वेंकटरमण गोविंद, श्री శ్రీనివాస గోవింద శ్రీ వెంకటేశ గోవింద. కలియుగ పావన హరినామ సంకీర్తన की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की श्रील प्रभुपाद की. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद. हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये. नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः.
Hare Krishna. His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu ki. So, I mean, introducing him is like showing lamp to the sun. So, I'll not do that. But all of you know about Radheshyam Prabhu so much. But I wanted to just share a few things before we start. So, there are two things, no? Outreach to the new people, getting them to Krishna consciousness. And then there is devotee care, taking care of devotees. So, it is very difficult to sometimes find a balance between the two. We do outreach and then devotees are like, and then we do devotee care. Sometimes outreach gets compromised. But he has been such an amazing leader that he has balanced these two amazingly. And and I'm balancing it to the scale which we see in Pune right now. So many devotees are there, and so many. It is expanding also, and at the same time, devotees are happy also. They're continuing also in their Krishna consciousness. So that's a very, very great contribution which Prabhuji has made. And of course, Nityananda Sabha is one form of care system which he has created. So he's ultimately the one who has conceptualized all this Gaurang Sabha, Nityananda Sabha, and all the training. So the focus is not just getting devotees, but also ensuring they're being taken care of. And more importantly, they get empowered to become very fired up devotees to ultimately preach Krishna consciousness. And that is a vision of Prabhuji, and it is something which he has been doing consistently, and he has been able to communicate that vision through his system so well. So Prabhuji has been very empowering, and therefore such things are possible. And he's also very clear in his vision of what he wants to do. So he is empowering, and he's also very clear. And we are very, very fortunate that we have him today. And we know that there has been some issues with his throat. Um, but I don't see like anything stopping him. He is still continuing doing Sankirtan, and so many things are happening. And he's also giving so many classes. And we are so fortunate, Prabhuji, that you have taken out time. And we are eagerly waiting and looking forward for your kind association, so that it will result us to become more Krishna conscious and responsible householders. His Grace Harisham Prabhu ki.
Hare Krishna Gaur Bhaktavinda ki.
Let us welcome him by loudly chanting 3 times. Haribol, Haribol, Haribol.
So Dwarkadish Prabhu and his wife, they already did a program yesterday. They did. Very good. And Shidampa is coming tomorrow. I'll tell you a little short story. The lesson of which is a very vital lesson for all of us in our lives. There was one Guruji who had a disciple in his ashram. So the disciple was a new fellow. He was just observing the Guru. And the Guru wouldn't speak much. He was more into action. Like the disciple went and told the Guruji that a group of people from the village have come to meet you. So the Guruji came and sat in his asana. And in front of the table, those people kept a big plate of varieties of fruits. So Guruji didn't even look at any of them. He just picked up the fruit. While talking to them, he was just throwing away the fruits, this side and that side. And when the plate was empty, he got up and went away inside. So people were all shocked there. And the disciple was even more shocked. So next day, a group of people came. They also came and gave a big plate of fruits. Now the people were praising the Guru, talking some things, but Guru didn't speak a word to them. He just picked up all the fruits, opened the covers and ate it and went inside. Again, they were not feeling so happy. And the disciple also wasn't able to understand why Guruji is doing like that. Third day when Guruji came, a group of people had come. They came and offered him fruit. So he took it and offered it to Krishna. And then he kept some few fruits for himself and then called everybody and gave them all one fruit. They became very happy. Now this is sanctified prasad also. It's sanctified and Guruji is giving us. They accepted it very gratefully. Then now the disciple later on met the Guru and said, Guruji, your behavior is very extraordinary. It's all difficult for me to understand. Why you do what you do. It is said Vaishnava Kriya Mudra Gya Pujai. So can you please explain to me, the first two groups were very unhappy. The third group was very happy with you. And Guruji said that's the point I wanted you to learn. He said, really? What was that point? He said, when the first group of people came and gave me fruits, I didn't even look at them. I just, threw away the fruits. Similarly, God has given us so many gifts in this world. He's giving sunlight, moonlight, rain shower, grains and fruits and cereals and spices. He's giving us gold, silver, diamond. He's giving us so many items in this world. There are people who give up all these things and go to Himalayas. They are indifferent to the world completely. So, therefore, God is giving you gifts and not accepting these gifts and rejecting them right away, thinking them to be leading to bondage. That is not very pleasing to God, he said. Then the disciple asked, but then the second group of people also were not pleased with you. Then Guruji said, the second category of, second day I behaved to show you how there are people who come in this world, whatever is around them, they just pick and enjoy them. They take the, bricks and stone and sand and reinforced bars, everything, build a beautiful house and they claim it to be their own. And they take the fruits and grains and cereals, spices, everything. And they cook very, very nice foods and eat without bothering to offer it to God. Isn't it? And they accept, if they accept electricity, they will pay to MSCB. But when they take the sunlight and use solar panels to convert into electricity, they don't pay anything to sun. So these people are that type of people who are bhogis. They just enjoy this world without reference to God. That is also not very pleasing. You see, those people clearly became displeased with me because I just ate and enjoyed and went away. I never cared for them. Nobody in this world likes you if you just selfishly grab everything they have and you enjoy not caring for them. And then the disciple asked, why the third group of people were happy with you? He said, as soon as he gave me the fruits, first thing I offered it to Krishna. He said, offering to Krishna is like pouring water in the root of the tree. You pour water in the root of the tree, the whole tree is nourished. So anything in this world is connected to Krishna, that becomes auspicious. In fact, Krishna is the source of all auspiciousness. He touches with his foot some water, that becomes Ganga. He touches one mountain and lifts it, that becomes Govardhan. Is it not true? He stands under a tree and plays his flute, that becomes Kadambakan in the holy place, the forest of Vrindavan. He roams in the in the ground of Braja. He doesn't wear any sandals, So any tree he touched or any ground he touched with his feet, that entire place became auspicious because of his lotus footprints. So wherever the Lord goes or whatever he does with any interaction Lord has anything, immediately that becomes auspicious. Like we offer food to Krishna. A food touched by Krishna becomes prasad. Correct, no? Even his name alone is enough to liberate the living beings. You don't have to bring the person himself. Just like I went to one Karudapati colony in Pune. So as soon as they saw me in the monk's dress, I was sitting in a sumo. They said, why do you want to go in? I said, one family has called us. He said, no, we don't allow entry to sadhus and all. I understood they are thinking I'll go and harass somebody. But I didn't have the phone number. I didn't know what to do. I opened my diary and I showed him the name of the person and the house number was there. I showed him that. As soon as he saw the name of the person, house number was correct, he immediately opened the door. So I was thinking, in this world, the name works or not, correct, no? You take somebody's name. So simply by taking that fellow's name, the door of colony opened for me. Similarly, taking name of Krishna, Vaikuntha doors will open for you. Isn't it? So because it's connected to him, anything connected to him is auspicious. So Guru said, I offered it to Krishna. And also, after offering to Krishna also, I didn't enjoy everything myself. I took a few fruits for myself, but then I gave it in charity to others. He said, similarly, Grihasta means a person, first thing a Grihasta should do is to recognize everything belongs to Krishna. We should not come in a grabbing mood. Like a child newly born, his fingers are like this. How many of you have noticed? You've seen small babies? If you try to forcibly open his finger, what he will do? He will open it? Again he will close. You observed it? How many of you observed it? Correct, na? Yeah. Why? Because he's coming in what mode? Grabbing mode. See, Vedas are teaching us giving mode, not grabbing mode. That when I was a small kid, my mother used to say, "Beta, you have to give this food to the crows." Vishnu Prasad we have, no? After offering to Vishnu, first person should receive it will be the crow. You have to climb up. I used to go upstairs. There'll be Mangalore tiles in the kitchen side. I will have to go and put in the top in a plate. And I would come back with my plate to eat. Mother will ask me, did a crow come and eat? I'll say that I didn't find a crow. No, you have to find out. Unless you give to guest first, you have no right to eat. You have to find out. So that day I went, I couldn't find any crow. At last I found one crow sitting in a tree. I had to request him, please come here. Kra, kra, kra. I tried to make sound like a crow so that he will look at me. At last he came and accepted him. So why I'm telling you, so this culture of giving is very foundational in the Vedic life. Like we went to this Radha Govind Mandir. Early morning, 5,000 people in the early morning there, 5 o'clock. So when we're circumambulating, everybody was in a giving mood. Somebody is giving you Mysore Pak, one fellow was giving. One fellow was giving Bundi. One fellow was giving Mishri, he was giving. One fellow was giving Tilgul. One fellow was giving, what do you call that round white one? Round one, sweet one. Huh? Revdi. He was giving revdi. Huh? One fellow was giving peda. So I did see 3 times, I circumambulated, my breakfast was over. Huh? So this is India, you can see that. Imagine if 148 crore people in India give at least one plate of prasad. How many more people can eat? Another 148 crore can eat. Correct? No? Is there any scarcity? There's no scarcity. Scarcity is created by economic lords who stock the money and not give at all. So you will see this habit of giving is a very important quality in Grihasta ashrama, especially giving charity. One should never be hesitant. I was traveling in in Maharashtra, somewhere in the villages. One place, suddenly we saw a gopuram with a chakra in the top from a distance. I told our driver that please drive there. It looks like a Vishnu temple. Let us go and see. So we went into the village. Yes, it was. It was a Balaji temple. We were very fortunate to come across Balaji temple. So, so we went there. Big crowd there. Lot of people there. I told him, let's go directly. We went close to Sanctum Sanctorum. We're taking darshan. And the pujari came out and said, Swamiji, you have come at the right time, he said. What is the matter? I said, today is a big festival day. We are celebrating. But there is no pravachan car to give lecture. I think our Balaji has sent you here. I asked, how long? He said, at least 1 hour if you can give a lecture, it will be nice. So he immediately arranged an asana. It was a Vishnu temple. They are also Sri Vaishnavas. So we could connect very well. Then I spoke on Samudramanthan Leela. I spoke. And who were the audience? The youngest audience was 70, 75 years old. You know? And they were till 85, 90. There were about 30, 40 men and around 80, 90 women. Probably around 120, 130 people. All elderly women, elderly men. I spoke in Hindi for an hour. Very, very enthusiastically they all listened. After I finished, I was about to get up. But they all came in a queue and the pujari told me, no, you can't get up immediately. Wait for some time. He said, what's the matter? And many of the ladies came and gave 1 rupee coin. Some of them gave 1 rupee coin. Some of them gave 2 rupees. Somebody gave 5 rupees. Somebody gave 10 rupees. Amongst them, they said, there was one rich lady. She gave 50 rupees. you know, yeah. And then the old men came also. And they all said, you have to sit now. We have to catch the feet. I have to put my feet like this. Hit myself. They are just putting in front of me. They're touching this place like this they were doing. So the whole procedure took some 20 minutes for me. And I gathered this much amount of money. Then I went to Pujari and gave it all to him. He said, Swamiji, I think they have given it to you. It's for you, he said. I said, you see, you are a remote temple in a village. You must be struggling for running the temple. So this donation will be helpful to you in running your temple. Please take it, I said. And he was in tears. He was so grateful, he said. He said, Swamiji, please keep coming like this always. Yeah. So later on, one person, the Gadi, my car was asking me, Prabhuji, you could have taken half and you would have given half to him. Then I said, see, wherever Vishnu temples are suffering in running, we should help. If you see, as well as Jayapataka Maharaj in Mayapur also, there are many temples which were suffering, and then he took it and in ISKCON name, and they developed it, and they made Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lotus feet and all that. Hundreds of places they have done like that. I said in ISKCON, a lot of educated people come, rich people come, and we run the temples. But these are all remote temples. Why should we take these people's money? That people are coming for darshan, let it be given. Actually, we all have to think in terms of giving always, not in terms of taking, grabbing. Because that's what Vedic culture teaches. Vedic culture is all about giving. And where does it come from? It comes from Krishna himself. Look at the nature. The clouds are showering pure water. The salt water is converted into sweet water by the sun. The sun is getting its effulgence from Adi Purusha, it's Surya Narayana. Ultimately, it's Narayana who gives that effulgence to the sun. And by that effulgence and heat the rain is produced, it's magically converted. It converts the salt water into sweet waters, and he pours down. Now, if we have to buy a Bisleri bottle pure water, then we have to pay. But this water we are getting. So in Krishna's nature, everything is selfless. There is one verse which says, Paropakaraya Bhaganti Nadya, Paropakaraya Duhanti Gauva, Paropakaraya Falanti Vriksha, Paropakaraya Idam Shariram. It says that the mango tree is giving mangoes free of cost. It doesn't charge you. The cow is giving milk free of cost. The rivers are giving water free of cost. And the sun is giving light free of cost. So this is all, Krishna's nature is like a mother. Therefore we say Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna Dana Pran. He is our mother, he is our father, he is our life and soul. So he is giving. Therefore we say God gives and forgives. We get and forget. So because he is giving, the saintly persons who adore him, they also become completely selfless. They are always in a giving mood. And they teach the world to possess the giving mood instead of grabbing mood. Because what the saintly persons teach the world that you are coming with empty hand. You are going to go with empty hand. In between, you get something. And you should not stock it or store it forever. And you should not be careless to the other living entities. You should keeping Krishna in the center, connecting everything to Krishna. Then we should share everything with others. So, in Grihasta Ashrama, one of the dharma is to give charity. And another very important aspect of Grihasta Ashrama is Sadhu Sanga. Actually, I'll just show you one verse. See, this is from Chaitanya Charitamrita 22.13 Madhyalila. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. You can repeat this. Sei doshe maya pishachi danda kare tare. Adhyatmikadita patraya tare jari mare. One of you can read the translation for me, please.
Due to his being opposed to Krishna consciousness, the conditioned soul is punished by the witch of external energy, Maya. He is thus ready to suffer the threefold miseries brought about by the body and mind, the inimical behavior of other living entities, and natural disturbances caused by the demigods.
Yeah. So, I was telling you the story in the beginning when I opened my lecture today. The Sadhu was telling his disciple, in this world, the suffering exists only because of our tendency to lord over the world and the living entities within the world. Actually, if that tendency is given up, practically there is no suffering. Our physical and mental sufferings arise from lording our mentality or bossing our mentality. Say, for example, I'll tell you a simple example. The prasadam that we eat, it's eaten for what purpose? When you eat the prasad, it nourishes the body and you get the strength by which you can enter service to Krishna. Correct, no? That's the purpose. But generally, we don't just eat to get strength. Is that the only goal? Most of the people, they eat for what? For the taste buds. Correct, no? When taste becomes the goal, there are many items which are tasty but which are harmful, especially maida items. Crispy. So when I was in Camp Temple, I really fought with Govindas that you should not sell any maida item. They said, Prabhu, we'll have to close down Govindas. So I said, how can you be an enemy to the congregation? Poor people, they're coming and putting faith in you and buying and eating. It'll go and get stuck in the belly. It won't come out. Maida items is called white poison. They said, Prabhu, you say like that, but that's what they ask when people come. If you keep a wheat biscuit, if you keep Maida biscuit, they say Maida one. Because Maida is crispy. Like that, it gives sound. The wheat one, it's not very. People like that. So there are many things which are very tasty, but which are harmful. That's the way this material world is. So therefore, you will see that when we, like for example, when you eat prasad, frames. Some people tend to eat more frames. It's a fried item, correct? No? Then later on it creates problem. So actually, you will see that our body gets problem because we get into a lording over mentality in eating. Yeah. In the same manner, when we deal with other fellow devotees, we can deal with them respectfully, humbly, patiently, tolerantly, or we can deal with them in a lording over manner, in a bossing manner. And immediately that fellow gets irritated and he will give you back when you do that. And then eventually you find the result is what? The relationship becomes unpleasant. How many of you experienced with this? You experience? Correct. Now with some people, we get sparks. And now in this room, you find there are men, there are women sitting, but ultimately all of us are one in quality. The souls are same in quality. Some are seated in male bodies, some are seated in female bodies. But the soul, when he comes to this world, if he has a lording mentality, then in every circle that jiva will find difficulty. With equal friends, he will have problem. With juniors, he will have problem. With seniors, he will have problem. And after marriage, with wife also, he will have problem. Because the problem is same only. It arises from where? Lording our mentality. For example, Duryodhana and Yudhishthira Maharaj were sent out by their Guru Dronacharya, and he told them, Duryodhana, find out someone better than you. Yudhishthira, find out someone inferior to you. When they came back in the evening, Duryodhana said, I couldn't find anyone better than me. Everybody has some fault, he said. And Yudhishthira Maharaj came back and said, wherever I turned around, you have asked me to find somebody inferior to me. I couldn't find at all. Everywhere people have some good qualities. In fact, I have to learn from others. Wherever I turned around, I saw people with all some good qualities. Everybody is better than me, he said. Then Dronacharya told Duryodhan, you couldn't find somebody better than you. Here is Yudhishthira better than you, he said. And he said, Yudhishthira, you couldn't find somebody inferior to you. Here is Duryodhan inferior to you. I told them. So you can see Yudhishthira's mindset of, seeing others to be better, like Amanina, Mandhyana. Every Vaishnava has some good quality, great quality. I can learn from them. Open to learning, not having ahankar that I know everything. In the same manner, every jiva deserves to be respected. One time when devotees were with Prabhupada, in one zoo they saw a lion in the cage. One devotee was teasing the lion. And Prabhupada said, shh, see, he's the king of the forest. Currently he is inside a cage. That doesn't mean you can tease him. Prabhupada said, don't tease any living entity. He said, because anything we do, that comes back to us in future. By thought, word and deed. Yeah. So this lording over mentality is the very troublesome thing. Recently, one parent met me in Hyderabad. They come with their girl. The girl is like 24, 25 now. So they were telling, Radheshyam Prabhu, we want a devotee boy for this girl. If you can, you have thousands of boys, if you can, And that girl is an educated girl. She is from a premier institute, some top institute. She came forward and said, Prabhuji, my parents are telling me to marry a devotee boy, but I am afraid to marry a devotee boy. He said, he may have many demands. He may say that you have to rise early in the morning, you have to chant 16 rounds, and so many things he may say that I am little afraid. So then I told her, I told the parent that, you see, she must have seen some people who are very demanding people and little lording over people. And she said, yes, I have seen a few people like that, yes. And then people think all devotees are like this, correct, no? So when we try to lord our, boss over people, people develop a hatred for us. People just want to get rid of us. Even if we happen to be relatives also. We may be blood relative also or related in the family. And try to think about this. In married life, once you get into that tie bond, you can't get out of it easily because you're all coming from good families. It is not like, you purchased one model laptop, you didn't like it, you can change it. Tomorrow you can throw this and get another one. But with wife, you can't do that. With husband, you can't do that because whole family is involved there. Correct, no? Both families become sambandhi. Therefore, what I suggest people, if a boy or a girl has this lording over mentality, we have to be honest enough to admit that I need to become purified. I have this mentality. How do you know you have this mentality? Very easy. Some juniors, some equals, some seniors will tell you. He will definitely get feedback. And free of cost, you will get feedback. People will give you. And you may wonder why everybody finds fault with me. See, if I have a carbon black on my nose, I think I am all right. But other people are telling me that, Prabhu, you have a carbon black on your nose. Then when I go and look in the mirror, then I realize, yeah, that's true. Then I have to clean it, isn't it? So when others are giving us feedback, we should take it as if Krishna and Guru are giving us feedback. We should think like that. Others are telling me to change my mindset and change my behavior. We should be willing to change. And that change is possible by humility, gratitude, taking the instructions of Guru seriously. We can actually bring about a change by chanting of the holy name. Then the family life will be peaceful. And then with the peaceful family life, both husband and wife can progress in Krishna consciousness. So I was telling you about the grabbing mentality in the beginning and giving mentality. This grabbing mentality also comes as insensitivity to the partner. It comes as carelessness. It comes as selfishness. It comes as bossing nature. It comes as arrogance. It comes as independent mentality. It comes as whimsical decision making. All these bad qualities come from grabbing mentality. So, because of this, many families suffer. I'm not only telling Grihastas, I'm telling Brahmacharis also. In Brahmacharis also, if somebody has this grabbing mentality, then he will be very whimsical, independent minded, not caring about others' opinions. He will want to push his own opinion on others. He will grab everybody else's thing for himself and he will not be caring. So, whether you are a brahmachari or a grihastha, therefore I told you, the same type of soul is present in everybody. And when we do this, we also suffer and we will make others also suffer. You will see that. And that doesn't mean if you have a very mild nature, you are very sensitive, you are very humble, you are tolerant, you are simple, you have all good qualities, but you are not serious about devotion service. That is also not very useful. There is a verse which says, Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya Jati Shastram Japastapaha Apranasyeva Dehasya Mandanam Lokaranjanam. This verse says that if somebody is Bhagavad Bhakti Heen, one does not have bhakti, then no matter what other good qualities we possess, those good qualities are all null and void. They are useless. It's like decorating a woman with, nice nose ring and earring and bangles and necklaces. But the woman who is lying down on the ground as a dead body. So if a dead body is decorated very nicely, nobody would be attracted to that body. In fact, somebody will pay money to get rid of the body. Isn't it? I take it to the graveyard and burn it. It's a dead body. On the other hand, when these ornaments are in a living body, it's very attractive. So these qualities should be added to devotional service. So devotional service is the core. The most, it's called as, like out of the 26 qualities of Vaishnava, the Krishnaika Sharanam. It's a main quality. If you have that, other things will come gradually. If you don't have that, other things are like lifeless body. So we need to be seriously practicing devotees. At the same time, we have to give up the grabbing mentality and adopt the giving mentality, giving mindset. So here is saying here, see, due to being opposed to Krishna consciousness, just as a person becomes careless about other living entities, same way one doesn't care about Krishna, turns away from Krishna, then he is punished by the witch of Maya. And then we'll recite one verse of Narada to Dhruva. Please all of you repeat. Gunadikan mudam lipsit anukrosham gunadhamat maitrim samanadan vichen natapai rabibhuyate. Here is the topmost secret Narada is giving to Dhruva. How many of you would like to have sweet exchanges in interpersonal dealings with other living entities? Correct? Correct, no? You would like to have nice dealings with other living entities. And you don't want to have any clash, correct, no? Here is the secret. 3-point formula is giving. Those who are superior to you, be jolly to receive them. Don't be envious of them. Those who are equal to you, be friendly with them and ask them to share their realizations, experiences, and you also share with them. Those who are junior to you, be sympathetic to them, helpful to them, guide them, encourage them, and not ridicule them or belittle them, or don't be condescending. So in this way, the 3 levels of relationships he's talking about: superiors, equals, and juniors. Na tapai rabi bhuyate. You will not have any interpersonal clash, he's saying, if you do this. You won't have any clash. So, which means our adibhautika klesh with other living entities comes because of maltreatment of the other living beings. Because of our mistreatment of the other living entities. Our adibhautika klesh comes from there. See, I can't pinch my neighbor and then sit quietly like this. He is going to pinch me also. For every action there is, that will come. And that's what many times you find when 2 fellows come, one fellow comes crying as if, he's the victim. And then after hearing the other fellow, you understand what happened exactly. Isn't it? So, we not only meddle with other living entities, we even say to Krishna also, you get lost. I'm not interested in you. We turn away from him. You can see Hiranyakashipu tortured Prahlad and he also suffered. Correct, no? Duryodhana troubled the Pandavas and he also got destroyed. You will see that. So, mode of passion, we suffer and we make others also suffer. It's a very miserable life. Fortunately, we all have come to spiritual life. We have a good scope to easily come to Sattva-guna, and Sattva-guna is a springboard from where you can jump to Vishuddha Sattva, the spiritual platform, and attain many, many sublime qualities. But for that, we have to take Krishna consciousness very seriously. Sleeping early in the night, rising early in the morning, chanting in the early morning Brahma Muhurta hours, having a regular practice of hearing. Like recently I received, I had made one 2-page form to check how the Hyderabad leaders are doing, congregation leaders, counselors. So they all filled up. I was totally amazed with certain forms where they had said every day they read 1 hour of Prabhupada's purport. They hear 1 lecture of the spiritual master, and they also do deity worship in the morning and evening. And they have a couple of preaching programs, one for the congregation and one for the children. Wife is doing for children and the family is preaching to congregation. And every weekend they go for book distribution. And once in a week they do Harinam. One family is like that. And that fellow is a counselor. He takes all his group. I said, even as a brahmachari, I'm wondering whether I can do so much. Some people are very, very focused in spiritual life like that. And there are others who write that, how many lectures of Prabhupada you hear? Sometimes I hear. Sometimes means when? Once in a year? So, sometimes I hear this. Sometimes I read. No regulation. That's another extreme. So, we keep our spiritual life very vibrant. And that enlightenment will actually help us to learn how to deal with Krishna, how to deal with nature, how to deal with other living entities. Here he's saying that the jiva is punished by the witch of Maya. Please repeat this. Kama krode rada sahaya taralati khaya Brahmite brahmite yadi sadhu vaidya paye Tara upadesha mantre pishachi palaya Krishna bhakti paye tabe Krishna nikatayaye. He's saying here, such a living entity becomes a servant of lust, anger, greed, and such kinds of things. And Tara latikai, then one gets kicks of Maya. See, there is one platform where one can completely do away with anything to do with the world, the renounced order. Then there is a Grihasta order where you lead a regulated lifestyle. Guru has given you a regulation in eating, sleeping, mating, defending, and all these things. Then there is an unregulated lifestyle, third one. In that third life, one gets latikai. One gets kicks of Maya. Because such a person becomes a servant of lust and anger. For example, if a man becomes attached to his wife, or wife becomes attached to man, her husband, or they become attached to their children, the attachment in this world has taken away people's focus, people's concentration on God, and taken it away from God and put it on some temporary object. Like Dhritarashtra was attached to whom? Duryodhana. And Kaikeyi was attached to whom? Bharat. So she sent Ram far away. Rama, you go far away 14 years, and here is Bharat, he is my object of attachment. Similarly, Chitraketu's wives in the Kovai Sokratajuti, they were attached to Chitraketu, who was not giving them attention. So, Chitraketu, come near us, and Kritajuti and your child, kill the child, throw them far away. You can see that attachment and hatred go hand in hand. If we become attached to material relationships, then we become averse to Krishna consciousness. You will see that. Then we become kama krodera das. We simply become servant of. See, lust doesn't mean only sex life. Lust also means huge bungalow, big car, high paying job, foreign chances, becoming very popular, increasing our material demands. That is also called as lust. Lust actually means expression of passion, which comes in one of the forms is sex life. But other than that, all these are also called as lust. And the lust and anger go hand in hand because Krodha is Kamanuja, brother of, just like Ramanuja is Ram's brother is Lakshman. So Krodha is Kamanuja. It's a brother of, lust. They go hand in hand. Those who are very attached, they fight also very much. Like I remember in those days, one boy, when his parents came, the boy they wanted a match for the boy. So the marriage bureau arranged for a girl's family. And then the match was made. And the marriage was like about to happen 8 months later. In the meantime, this boy and girl exchanged their WhatsApp numbers and they started frequently talking. Every day, every alternate day. Because now they call us fiancé, fiancé. Okay, we can have a relationship with fiancé, no problem. But within 3 months, they were fighting like cat and rat. So much so that the marriage couldn't happen. They had to break the marriage because the boy told the parents she is very unreasonable. Girl told the parents he is very unreasonable. Good that they broke before the marriage only. They didn't end up in divorce. But why? Because of they had become too much possessive of each other. Actually, husband and wife, they should come together and become possessive of Krishna. If you don't become possessive of Krishna, then you become possessive of each other. A man makes his wife the deity. And then he thinks that worshipping her and circumambulating her is the goal of life. Actually, wife also will tell the husband, "Hey, why are you after me?" Chintamani told that fellow, what is his name? Villamangal. If you had a fraction of this attachment to Lord, you would have attained him long ago. then such a wife will not be able to respect the husband. She will think that this fellow is Kamaradas, Kamakroderadas. He has no spiritual substance. On the other hand, if husband is like Kardama, very advanced in devotion service, then Devuti, who is the daughter of the king of the whole world, she became submissive to him. And he could lead her to Krishna back. That's ideally. So why am I telling about men like this? It's a man's responsibility to keep the home Krishna conscious. And then the wife will assist him, then the family will come out very well. Children also will become very wonderful devotees. If a man becomes simply a slave of lust and anger, and then wife actually will cooperate with whatever is his mood. Okay, you are passionate. If he jumps 10 feet, she will jump 30 feet. More passionately. Let's go to shopping mall, buy this, buy that. You are greedy, I am doubly greedy. Then she will dance on your head and ask you to get a bigger job for more money. Yeah. So it's better, it's in the interest of man to be more Krishna conscious so that family will be a peaceful family. Correct, no? Because Prabhupada writes in one purport, the wife follows the nature of the husband generally at home. So if a husband is very Krishna conscious, though, he goes to temple, she likes to go with him. He goes to the programs. She also goes to the program and she connects with other ladies. Like that. And women become Krishna conscious very, very fast. Unlike men. Men have a lot of logic, reason, questions and all. And women easily get connected to activities. Devotional activities. And senior Matajis bring them very easily. So Prabhupada actually says, because men became irresponsible in India, then they became drunkards, they became irreligious, due to which women had to go for studies and jobs and everything to maintain the family and get their daughters married. So men have a very big responsibility. Therefore, here comes the point I'm going to tell you now. See, Brahmite yadi sadhu vaidya pai, he's saying. After roaming here and there, after getting a lot of kicks from Maya, one gets a sadhu vaidya, he's saying. So I'll show you one verse from the 7th canto. Narada Muni says, there is one chapter where Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking Narada, 7th canto, 14th chapter, that we are Grihastas, how can we an ideal family life, See what he's asking. Grihamodati, he will say, Yudhishthira Vacha. Shall I repeat this?
Grihastayetam padavim vidina yena chanjasa yaya devarishe bruhi madrisho grihamudadihi. A translation, one of you can read it, please.
Maharaj Yudhishthira inquired from Narad Muni, O my lord, O great sage, kindly explain how we who are staying at home without knowledge of the goal of life may also easily attain liberation, according to the instruction of Vedas.
Narada has told about Prahlad Maharaj, who was a Mahabhagavat Paramahamsa. So now Yudhishthira Maharaj is inquiring about how a Grihastha with all the responsibilities can attain perfection.
Shri Narada Uvacha Griheshu avastito raja kriya kurvanyatocitaha Vasudevarpanam sakshat upasita mahamunin. Translation.
Narad Muni replied, My dear king, those who stay at home as householders must act to earn their livelihood, and instead of trying to enjoy the results of their work themselves, they should offer these results to Krishna, Vasudeva. How to satisfy Vasudeva in this life can be perfectly understood through the association of great devotees of the Lord.
Please read this one.
The science of satisfying the Supreme Lord can be learned as described here. Sakshat Upasita Mahamunin. The word Mahamunin refers to great saintly persons or devotees. Saintly persons are generally known as Munis or thoughtful philosophers concerned with transcendental subject matters, and Mahamunin refers to those who have not only thoroughly studied the goal of life, but who are actually engaged in satisfying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. These persons are known as devotees.
Yeah, Prabhupada is saying Mahamuni means not only they study the Shastra and know the goal of life, they are also engaged in devotional service. Therefore, Prabhupada translated bhakti as devotional. So, knowledge cultivation is good, but we should not remain with that knowledge. We should also engage in devotional service. Read further.
Unless one associates with devotees, one cannot learn the science of Vasudevarpanam, or dedicating one's life to Vasudeva, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of
Okay,
Godhead.
now how to dedicate our life? Prabhupada explains in the next para.
In India, the principles of this science were followed strictly. Even 50 years ago, I saw that in the villages of Bengal and the suburbs of Calcutta, people engaged in hearing Srimad Bhagavatam daily when all their activities ended, or at least in the evening before going to bed. Everyone would hear the Bhagavatam. Bhagavata classes were held in every village, and thus people had the advantage of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, which describes everything about the aim of life, liberation or salvation.
See, one special feature of Grihasta ashram is many Grihastas, generally in this world it is seen, they find it difficult to do something on a daily basis. But on certain occasions, when there are opportunities for them to intensely practice sadhana or spiritual life, many Grihastas are very enthusiastic about it. For example, my mother once took me for a Ramayana Katha, which was 20 days. Every day evening, 6 to 9, 3 hours in the evening, full Ramayana, Sampurna Ramayana was conducted. So there were like 1,000 people attending. I was a small boy, so she would take me very religiously every day. All those 20 days I we attended that. Similarly, during Dhanurmas, now in Margashish month, we used to go to Vishnu temple and every day recite one verse of that Andal Tirupavai. And offer flowers to the Lord. Early morning, we'd get up at 4 o'clock and we'd go to the temple. Actually, in our compound, when I would come out, all my other friends would come out also early morning. We would have a competition to see who gets up first. And we will go to the temple, we take oil bath and go to the temple. So offer the flowers and come, recite the verses, sing songs and come. So, but other seasons, it may not be like that. Now, similarly, you find that therefore, some grihastas, what they do is they do bulk reading. There is one group in Hyderabad. What they do is, like for example, book distribution marathon time, they're very active. In Janmashtami time, fundraising very active. Other time of the year, reading Shastra together in a very intense fashion. The whole idea is there has to be spiritual inspiration for us to survive in Grihastha ashram, because Grihastha ashram throws a lot of challenges for both the husband and the wife. So here Prabhupada is saying that Mahamunin, the association of saintly persons is very important. So one brahmachari and one grihastha couple can form a very powerful team. One example I tell you, Sarvavatar Prabhu and his good wife. Sarvavatar Prabhu knows Sundarshyam Prabhu many years ago. Since college days he knows. He was always fascinated by Sundarshyam Prabhu's serious practice. Now he's married now and they are doing a lot of things. They have 3 sons, you all know, 3 Rajas, What Raj? Prem Raj, Giriraj, and Raj. So those 3 kids, they will be all the time in the temple in the morning. You will see them dancing in the kirtan. So because he was associated with Sundar Shampoo closely, now it's very natural for him, and he is naturally leading his wife, and they are super enthusiastic in spiritual life. So in the same manner, you will see, I joined hands with Jaydev Prabhu and Satyavati Mataji, and we put up a program in their house, and the program came out very well. What started with 10, 12 people became like 150, 200 people. Eventually, the house was overflowing. They had to switch over to a bigger house. So, brahmachari can do something what grihasthas cannot do, and grihasthas can do something what brahmacharis cannot do. So, they can complement each other. Similarly, Atmaram Gaurav Prabhu puts up one program in his house monthly once. I go for a couple of hours where all the senior leaders come, like Shankar Pandit Prabhu, Tulasi Prabhu, Brajanand Prabhu, Mukundanand Prabhu, Rasavikra Prabhu, and Krishna Kishore Prabhu. That kind of people come. We have only invitee based 20 or 25 couples we invite. Only selectively we call. They just fill up the house. We have monthly once program. So when one grihastha and brahmachari join hands, it is mutually beneficial. A brahmachari should not help ladies solve their queries, problems, especially with respect to practical application in family life. Therefore, if he connects with the couple, then the couple becomes mature. They grow in maturity with the sadhu sanga, and then later on, when they become counselors for the group, I told Jayadipur Satmaji, I will only come sit on the asana, give lecture, and push off. Then you have to counsel all the people who are coming. Sometimes Satyatmaji will bring some dozen ladies and rich ladies, and all she will bring and say, Prabhuji, I want to just introduce them to you. She will introduce, and she will tell me to give one book to them or some prasad to them. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. That's all. I don't know whose name is what. We don't know their names. Just for Mataji's satisfaction, Hare Krishna, that's all. We meet like that. Jayadevpur will bring some men, big industrialists, he will bring. Hare Krishna, give this. Whatever they tell me to give, I give, that's all. That's my service. But mainly my job is you go there, give some lecture, answer some questions. Philosophical questions you ask, I am all out for it. From the Shastra you can ask. Or to some degree, practical application in life, we can explain. But those who have lived in family life with children and job and everything, so they only can do counseling of women or counseling of men. Therefore, we need grihasthas for that. So, but if a grihastha does not connect with the sadhu, then the grihasthas, there is a likelihood that we can become complacent. See, only a group of grihasthas and they come together. Sometimes they can become critical of the brahmacharis. They can become critical of the temple and say, hey, these sadhus are fanatics. What do they know? They are all just theoretical fellows. We are really practicing. We are doing so many responsibilities. So, and brahmacharis also will talk ill of grihasthas. They are all in Maya. They will say that. They are gone. Now they are with the Mataji and a woman now. They have children and job and good for nothing. Useless. We are really renounced. So both will be foolish. Both will become foolish. And the Prabhupada's mission suffers by that. So therefore, the connection, actually, if a brahmachari connects with a grihastha couple, he can be sympathetic to them. He can understand that, you see, these people are acting as interface for us to approach the society. Similarly, grihastha will feel that, hey, these sadhus are so renounced. They rise so early in the morning, all day they serve the mission. They don't have a family or money or anything. They don't stock anything. They are just so renounced. So the closer you come to the other order, then when grihasthas respect the sadhus, then the sadhus enrich the grihasthas by shastric understanding, and both of them take it as a mission of Srila Prabhupada that we want to propagate this. It can happen very wonderfully. It can happen very, very wonderfully. So therefore Prabhupada is saying that, and also grihastha should not think that the sadhus are talking about detachment or renunciation. That type of instruction is very necessary for grihasthas. Because if grihasthas are not reminded about detachment, there is a likelihood either to become complacent or to get drowned in Maya. That possibility is always there. You see, even Nanda Baba is telling, when Gargamani went to his place, he said, Mahat Picharanam Pumsam Grihinam Dena Chetasam Nishreyasaya Bhagavan Nanyata Kalpita Kvachit, he said. He said, great rishis like you, Garga Rishi, why do you have to go to the homes of the family people? He said, we family people, he said about himself, I am a Vaishya. And Vaishya means they do cow protection, trading and farming. Krishi Goraksha Vanija. So we are doing trading and counting the money always. But someone like you, rishis, come to our home. You wake us up to realize that actually the goal of life is to go back to Godhead. We should not become stuck in the comforts and facilities of this world. So of course Nanda Baba is saying out of humility, he is a pure devotee himself. He is no less than a sannyasi. But he is just portraying a grihastha and he is explaining like that. So I have seen many of the students who pass out of voices. At one time, they were super enthusiastic. They were flying in the air in morning, chanting and dancing. They were and they were preaching and bringing so many people to Krishna consciousness. And then they got a job, and even during job, they were very enthusiastic. But after marriage, suddenly you don't find them anywhere. Where are they? How much volumes of service they were doing? So two things happens to a grihastha when they marry. One is the husband wife become attached to each other, and they both sit together and think that now we have to settle our material life properly. So 3-4 years they are busy going here, going there, gathering money and putting up a home and getting car and settling. And by the time they settled, now they both think that now we are almost settled. Now let us start some service. Immediately, child comes out. A baby is born now. Oh, the next 3 years goes in raising the baby. Correct now. So now the 3 years the child has grown up. Now you have to put the child in the nursery and VKG and all that. Then the wife tells the husband, now that the baby has come, you can't take me in a scooter. You have to get a car now. You know, you get a car, or a bigger car. Then the husband thinks that I have to get a promotion in the office. The promotion means I have to work more or switch over to a bigger job. Then money making takes another 4-5 years to get promotion. And by the time wife is busy with child, husband is busy with promotion and everything. And then suddenly he looks at the clock, now he's 40 years old. And the time goes away like that. So therefore, when you are living in this world, but if you are in connection with a sadhu, the advantages, along with your challenges you face in family life, the contact with the sadhu will always keep giving you some opportunity for seva. Sadhu will call you, Prabhu, would you like to come for Balaj seva? Of course, you have to go to company, you have to do so much work, it is a bit of strain. But Prabhuji is calling, okay, let me go, you go and do some service. Yeah. Or somebody will call you, Prabhuji, can you give one-time program in the college? Or can you give a discover yourself? Actually, many of our grihasthas here, they, despite that busy job, they take out time for services. And then those are the grihasthas who really grow in Krishna consciousness. You see, Gajendra was not telling the Lord that, until this crocodile leaves me, I cannot do any service to you. Did he say that? When crocodile was catching his leg, he looked at Lord Narayana coming, he picked up a flower from the pond and he offered it. And that's what touched the heart of Narayana. Narayana thought that, look at this fellow. Even in the midst of sankat, difficult situation, he's still offering me. So, in this way, he had learned a lesson from Agastya Rishi. One day, Agastya Rishi had come to meet Indradumna Raja in Kutralam, the mountain cave. At that time, the Indradumna king was doing meditation. He was a little inattentive. He was not receiving the guest properly, Agastya Muni, and some 10-20 disciples. Because he was a little lethargic or little careless, and for that he got a chastisement. He got a chastisement that, hey, you are like a dull creature, not offering due respects to the guests. So I curse you to become a dull animal. And he became, the next life, Gajendra. But now that he got the chastisement, he became alert now. Similarly, now he is being caught by a crocodile. Now the Lord is coming. He was not. Now he has to do guest reception for whom? For Lord Vishnu only. Lord Vishnu himself is coming. Was he careless? He immediately offered a flower. He learnt a lesson. He learnt a lesson in his life that we don't give any glib excuses for not doing service. In the midst of all difficulties, we should do service. And also, life is never going to be less busy. It's like if somebody says, when the ocean waves stop, then I will take bath. The ocean waves will never stop and you will be stinking. You will never take bath. It's better that along with the waves, you be battered by the waves and take bath and come out. So, and that is made possible when you have that type of sadhu Sanga. One brahmachari, one grihastha couple, a powerful combination. They will do wonders in this world. Yeah, read further. This will be clearly explained in the next verses. Yeah. Shrinman Bhagavato Abhikshnam Avatara Katambritam Shraddadhano yatha kalam upashanta janavritah satsangachanakai sangam atmajayatmajadishu vimunchen muchyamaneshu swayam swapnavad uttitah. Yeah, read it. Yeah.
A Grihasta must associate again and again with saintly persons.
Vikshnashah, it is said, continuously. It is said.
And with great respect, he must hear the nectar of the activities of the Supreme Lord and his incarnation, as these activities are described in Srimad Bhagavatam and other Puranas. Thus, one should gradually become detached from the affection for his wife and children, exactly like a man awakening from a dream.
So in Kunjavari temple days, when I became president in 1997, at the time I was only preaching to youth in the beginning. And then I started Jayadev's house program. After that, somehow it hit me hard that many of the devotees who were very close to me in my preaching early days, when they became Grihastas, I was not able to meet them regularly because there was no context to meet them. I was going to college and preaching. And when they were boys, they were very close to me. Now they got married and I am not meeting them. So I am going for college preaching and they are busy with their family and everything. So one day I called for a meeting of the old devotees and told them, coming week onwards, I am going to start Bhagavatam study circle, so that I can get to see all of you regularly. So then they started coming, all this Krishna Kishore Prabhu, Mukundanand Prabhu, our Tulasi Prabhu, Hridanand Prabhu, Shankar Pandit Prabhu, all these people used to come with their wives also. So there were like almost 25 to 30 people. Eventually started growing bigger. We were holding in the conference room there in Kunjavari temple. Then we moved it out to the hall. Sometimes we would have as many as 100, 200 people or sometimes 100, 120 people like that. So we earlier called it as a Bhagavatam study circle. Then we couldn't keep a circle anymore. We had to have a class after that. And we made it into a group called Mala later on. Mala stands for Managers and Leaders Association. I made a group like that from that. So one thing I can say, we covered Gajendra Moksha, Chitraketu, Prahlad Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj. Like that we must have covered dozen past and Vritrasura. And we went, verse by verse, translation, purport. Very nice discussion we had. Sometimes we would hold on a purport and discuss from various angles and questions would come, realizations would come. Very beautiful it was. And I can remember that because I was giving importance to keeping Bhagavatam in the center, our relationship remained spiritual. If you don't put Krishna in the center, you will become overly familiar with one another and you will quarrel. But if you put Krishna in the center, the relationships will be, there will be respect, love, and trust. And there will be also, Krishna in the center will make it very wonderful. So, and you can see all those people are so powerful now. Each of the names I am taking here, they are all having so many counsels and so much preaching. They are sheltering 100 people, many of them. You will see that. So, but afterwards, again, I became busy. I started traveling outdoor. We stopped it. We must have done for 5-6 years, I think, probably. After that, I became super busy again. Now we have again revived with the help of Atmanangaram Prabhu. In his house, we are doing monthly once at least. But one of the things, coming together with devotees will dissolve any pockets of misunderstandings, any pockets of displeasure, pockets of imagined perceptions or fossilized perceptions will be dissolved. Coming together in Sanga of each other. That verse says that. All of you repeat. Parasparanukathanam pavanam bhagavad yasha mitoratir mitatushtis nivrattir mita atmanaha. Say Parasparanukathanam. When devotees come together and discuss Bhagavad Katha, what is the result of that? He's saying, Pavanam Bhagavad Yashaha. Krishna's glories are purifying. It purifies our heart. Mito Rati. Devotees develop affection and attachment to one another. He says, how? You see, hey, this devotee's conviction is so deep. Hey, this devotee is so realized. Hey, this devotee is so enthusiastic. This devotee has so much faith in Krishna. Hey, this devotee rises so early in the morning. Hey, this devotee, is doing worship of his deity at home regularly, so nicely. So you come to know about the devotees, good qualities. And then your respect for the devotees and affection and attachment to devotees increases. Mito ratis. Mita trutti means your heart becomes satisfied. Nivrittir, you give up, mad attachment to sense gratification, which is the cause of all suffering. Yeah? You develop detachment, he says. So all this comes by study of Bhagavatam. So here he says, we should again and again associate with saintly persons. He says, so with great respect, he says, you must hear the nectar of activities of the Supreme Lord and his incarnations, as these activities are described in Srimad Bhagavatam. So if a Grihasta disrespects a sadhu, they are losing the opportunity to gain something, valuable. If somebody considering sadhus to be fanatical, good for nothing, then they will be sitting at home and watching TV or watching something else in the internet. They won't take good association. And that way there is no possibility of purification. There is an example of the fish given in Madhva Sampradaya. In a pond is compared to Grihastha. And a fish is compared to sadhus. So the sadhus are given charity by the Grihasthas. So sadhus don't have to go for job. They can always study Shastra, practice and preach. So the fish cannot live without water. Similarly, without Grihastha supporting the sadhus and the temple and everything, putting up a project like this is practically impossible. So Grihasthas have to support because Grihasthas earn and give charity. I told you about charity, correct? No? They give charity. At the same time, the fishes while living in the water, they eat the stool. You know that? How many of you know that? The fishes eat away the stool. You know that? Yeah. All the impurities in the pond, it can extract it so that the pond becomes clean. Whichever pond in which fish is present, that pond becomes clean. Fishes will take care of removing the impurity. Similarly, the sadhus are compared to fish. And when grihasthas and sadhus come together closely, um, grihastha will be wondering how our unwanted things are evaporating, because if a sadhu is genuine, in that association, grihastha's heart will feel touched by the sublime divine message. When the divine message touches their heart, impurities will evaporate like a water sprinkled on a hot tawa. When you sprinkle water on hot tawa, like that it absorbs, no? Like that impurities will be evaporated. They will take out the impurities. So in this way, grihasthas and brahmacharis, they support each other. Madhva Sampradaya, one example, an acharya gives this. So in this way, and also coming in association doesn't mean becoming frivolous in relationship. If a brahmachari becomes frivolous with grihastha, then he talks so many things about worldly life. And some brahmacharis later on leave the ashram also. They don't stick on because they're talking everything except Bhagavatam. Actually, if sadhu means he should be exuding Krishna at every moment. Yes, that is the purpose of a saint. Otherwise, there is no need of sadhus at all. If sadhu is going to do worldly talks, then why should he be a sadhu at all? He doesn't have to wear the dress of a monk. He can be one amongst the people in the world. So sadhu means you should be breathing Krishna consciousness and speaking Krishna consciousness. The sadhu is also called purohit. Pura means your house. Hit means, so you should benefit. When he goes to household, he speaks something about Krishna and he helps them purify and elevate their mind. So that's why he's saying, if you are hearing the nectar of activities of the Lord, which are all Shravana Mangalam, he says, no, Tavakatamritam, Bhakta Jivanam, Kavibiriditam, Kalmasha Apaham, Shravana Mangalam. So it says Kalmasha Apaham. It completely destroys the impurities. Shravana Mangalam. It's very auspicious to hear about Krishna. Krishna is the eternal hero. Radharani is the eternal heroine. So there, the divine couple's pastimes are most worthy to hear. Prabhupada says, if you make Krishna your son, the son will never die. If you make Krishna your friend, that friend will never die. If you make Krishna your lover, the lover will never die. So, in this way, thus one should gradually become detached from all these material attachments, like a person waking up from a dream, is saying. So in this way, here one very important thing Prabhupada says. Please read this one. Mike, who has the mic?
The human form of life is meant for liberation, but unfortunately, due to the influence of Kali Yuga, every day the Grihastas are working hard like asses. Early in the morning, they rise and travel.
Mike is all right.
Early in the morning, they rise and travel even 100 miles away to earn bread. Especially in the Western countries, I have seen that people awaken at 5 o'clock to go to offices and factories to earn their livelihood. People in Calcutta and Bombay also do this every day. They work very hard in the office or factory and again they spend 3 or 4 hours in transportation,
Second line.
returning home.
Returning home.
Then they retire at 10 o'clock and again rise early in the morning to go to their offices and factories. This kind of hard labor is described in Shastras as the life of pigs and stool eaters. Nayam deho deha bhajam nriloke kastan kaman arhate vid bhujam ye. Of all living entities who have accepted material bodies in this world, one who has been awarded this human form should not work hard day and night simply for sense gratification, which is available even for dogs and hogs that eat stool. One must find some time for hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. This is Vedic culture. One should work 8 hours at most to earn his livelihood,
Livelihood.
and there and either in the afternoon or in the evening, a householder should associate with devotees to hear about incarnations of Krishna and his activities, and thus be gradually liberated from the clutches of Maya.
In America, one boy started 20 minutes Bhagavad Gita class in the afternoon time, post lunch, something like 1:40 to 2. He started in the afternoon time. Initially started with 10, 12 people. Now he has got 380 people, all joining online. And he says a lot of people like it afternoon time. Every day just one shloka he reads and purport he reads. Little bit he explains. If purport is too long, they read it in 2 days. That's all they do. Just one shloka. One shloka a day keeps Maya away. Just afternoon. I was so inspired by it. I am also thinking of starting in India in the lunchtime, either between 1:30 to 2 or something like that, 1:30 to 1:50 or something like that. One shloka every day if you give, I think many will join. What do you think, Sandalpu? Get idea, no? Yeah. This fellow started with 8, 10 people. So nice, it is. Yeah. So, and many of his friends told him, it makes our mind so fresh because in the morning they work very hard when they go. The lunchtime when they hear it. And the post lunch, this keeps ringing in their ears. In the afternoon time, evening time, it's something very good to put in. Every day, just one shloka a day. Just about 20 minutes of discussion in the afternoon, lunchtime. Actually, lunch, many companies have like 1 hour lunch, they have time. And that 20 minutes, you hear this and then you take your prasad. And something fruitful. Otherwise, people talk about, what is happening in politics now. Who is going to become CM? Who is going to become PM? People talk or not? Yeah, people talk about sports, movies, and politics and everything. But if you say that I'm busy in some class, they will not disturb you. So you learn something. That's what Prabhupada is saying. Either in the afternoon he's saying something like this, what I'm saying now. Or in the evening. Evening though, nobody has time now. Many of them take US calls. 5 o'clock they'll be busy. Evening they may not get time. So you can make time in the afternoon. Similarly, in Hyderabad, I have started 3 slate programs. Why I started 3? One group is in Infosys, in Pochara and Singapore City. There are 35 leaders there. For them, one slate program I do. You know when I do? I do it in the morning, like between 7 to 9:30, 10. We do 2.5 hours because their life is busy in the evening more for them. So I do in the mornings, 7 to 9:30. Once in a month I do. Then one program I do in Gachibowli for IT group. There are also about 40 of them. Another slate course I'm doing for them. In temple, ISKCON Abid's Bhakti Vriksha group leaders, they are about 40 of them, 35, 40 of them. So for them, I do on Sunday morning 8:15 to 10:15, once in a month I do. So these three groups are all internally connected groups. They all know each other very well. Therefore, I didn't merge these groups. I kept them three separate groups. So monthly once, 2 hours here, 2 hours here, 2 hours here. I meet like that. So when I go to Hyderabad, I do all these three programs in 1 week only. I do it. So in that way, I know the leaders also, they are also learning something and growing very well. So it's very important. And they tell me every time I go, Prabhu, this was so nice from Srimad Bhagavatam or Chaitanya Charitamrita. I just sometimes take some purport and show them. They say, we never saw this before. Huh? Thank you. It was so eye-opening. Huh? They say like that. Because Prabhupada's purports are so oceanic. We don't know. We have not read everything. So it's very important when we come together, and they all are enjoying coming together because they all get to meet each other also, leaders. These programs are only for the leaders I do. Because they say, Prabhu, we are all so busy, we don't even get to see each other also. Huh? Everybody is busy. Now go ahead.
However, instead of finding time to hear about Krishna, the householders, after working hard in
Acha, you read that? Sure? You left something, I think.
okay.
See, the third line you read, this is Vedic culture, read it?
This is Vedic culture. One should work 8 hours at the most to earn his livelihood.
See, this is a secret purpose revealing. Huh? How many hours he says you should work? What about working 14 hours? He says that whatever you get in 8 hours, that is what is written in your takdir. Huh? Your fate. That's what is written in 8 hours. Over and above it, if you work hard, you may get back pain, neck pain, huh? And you have to give it to the doctor. Huh? And all those things. Somehow it will be taken away or whatever. So he's saying 8 hours at the most to earn his livelihood. That's why I was wondering how it got missed on. I was thinking. Yeah. And then read further, and
either in the afternoon or in the evening, a householder should associate with devotees to hear about the incarnations of Krishna and his activities, and thus be gradually liberated from the clutches of Maya.
Yeah, correct. See, one important thing is, now I was telling about the men something. Now I'll tell something about the woman side. Actually, there are women who are called Sri Ratnam. Sri Ratnam means diamond woman. Who is considered a diamond amongst women? A woman who is not greedy, who is not envious of other women, who is clean and who is devotional minded, who is chaste, and who is always cheerful, and who spreads happiness to everybody around her, and who is deeply satisfied in whatever God has given. So such a woman is considered like a diamond woman. It's very rare for one to get such a wife, simple wife, and satisfied wife. Actually, if a woman is satisfied, she will not squander the wealth. She will save the wealth. She will save the money. On the other hand, if a woman is greedy, envious of other women, she wants to impress the world around her, and then she wants everything, huge number of things she wants. Then she can actually demand husband to bring more and more money, and then both their life becomes miserable. So therefore, a woman who is like a Griha Lakshmi, we call. So she combined with a spiritually advanced husband, they make a good couple. And when they come together, they will know how to save money. The more they save, the less they have to struggle hard in material life. And you can get time for spiritual activities. So if even brahmachari is also, for example, if a brahmachari is not simple, he is not satisfied with simple prasad, simple sleeping place. If a brahmachari become greedy also, we have seen, even they will suffer also, we have seen. If they become extravagant in spending, extravagant in becoming popular and struggling hard to become famous and things like that, they struggle like Prabhupada says here. Similar thing. Again, I'm coming back to the original point I told you. Anybody who has a lording over nature, they suffer and make others suffer also. You understand? No? So, Prabhupada is giving us the blueprint how to give up that lording over nature. He says, work for 8 hours, afternoon or evening, have a habit of reciting regularly. In the recent past years, Tulasi Prabhu, Shankar Pandit Prabhu, Kundananda Prabhu. Yesterday, one more fellow told me who is reading daily. Who is that? Avatari Chaitanya Prabhu, all these people have 20 minutes or half an hour daily reading program for the last 3 to 4 years. Huh? They all have groups of people and daily. And amongst them, the fellow who is most ecstatic is Mukundanand Prabhu. He goes around telling how happy he has become. He's finished all the small books, medium books, big books. They come to Bhagavad Gita now. Huh? And whether they get 2 people or 20 people, they have never stopped. Tulasi Prabhu also is rock steady. Huh? Actually, these are all very humble devotees. Huh? They actually they have informed their counselees that you can join, but they don't force anybody. Huh? So therefore, not everybody comes. I told them, you guys, we have to put you in the notice board with the photo also. Huh? Tulasi Prabhu, Mukundanand Prabhu, huh? This Avatar Chaitanya Prabhu, and all this devotees photo we should put along with that. You know, Mukundanand Prabhu started it as sport. You know that? And you hear the name, everybody want to join sports. Sport is Srila Prabhupada online reading team. Hmm. That is a sport. You know. So, because they are regularly daily reading, they are so ecstatic. Correct, no? Yeah. So, that's what Prabhupada is saying, either in the afternoon or evening. They are doing it. Prabhupada is saying it and they are doing it. And then what he says further. However,
However, instead of finding time to hear about Krishna, the householders, after working hard in office and factories, find time to go to the restaurant or a club, where instead of hearing about Krishna and his activities, they are very much pleased to hear about political activities of demons and non-devotees to enjoy sex, wine, women, and meat. In this way, waste their time. This is not Grihasta life, but demoniac life. The Krishna consciousness movement, however, with its centers all over the world, gives such fallen and condemned persons an opportunity to hear about Krishna.
yeah, yeah.
In a dream, we form a society of friendship and love, and when we awaken, we see that it has ceased to exist. Similarly, one's gross society, family, and love are also a dream, and this dream will be over as soon as one dies. Therefore, whether one is dreaming in a subtle way or a gross way, these dreams are also false and temporary.
See, as I told you in the beginning, all of us are jivas wandering from one body to another. Sometimes we are in a king's body, sometimes in a beggar's body, sometimes in a devata's body, sometimes in a human body, sometimes in an animal body, sometimes in a bird's body. Hmm? Like night, you sleep, and in the midnight, you don't even know who you are, correct, no? We are in Shushupti, deep sleep stage. And next day morning, when you get up, you look at your body, look at the mirror, then you know who you are. Huh? Yeah. But imagine somebody slept in a human body and then got up in a dog's body. Huh? That can happen, no? Hmm. See, this is one of my favorite videos.
All say one, one, three, five, seven, nine, and last number is 10. You, you're a good boy. Give me answer. Quick. 1 plus 1, 3 plus 2, 5 plus 1, 7 plus 1. Now, give me answer. 5 minus 2, 5 minus 1, 5 minus 4, 6 minus 3, 7 minus 4, 8 minus 4, 10 minus 3. Very good. Good.
So you carefully heard what that dog. Did he commit any mistakes? He didn't commit any mistakes. Huh? So how do you think he's able to calculate mathematics perfectly? Do you think a dog can be trained like this? See, if a dog is trainable like this, all over America they will start. Because in Americans, they're mad after their dogs. Huh? So you cannot train one dog like this. Huh? This is a simple dog in North India, and this fellow is a simple fellow. Huh? He just he found that this dog is able to calculate mathematics. So what could be the possibility? Some maths teacher has come into the dog's body now. Some blunder he must have committed. Correct, no? He's got into a dog's body now. But some remnants of the old mathematics is still in subtle body. Because Krishna says, Vayu Gandha Nivashayat. He says, the soul carries the, karma vasanas, sugandha vasana, durgandha vasana in the subtle body and goes to the next body. He's carrying some impressions of the mathematics from previous life. Huh? He's able to make some calculation. So, in this way, one can get, I'll show you another one. So this deer, it was wounded in the forest, so they brought the deer and they administered some medicine to the deer. And they sent it back in the forest, but the deer came back. Huh? And it was so much fond of the association of these devotees, these are children in the school. So he's dancing, you can see that, how joyfully, isn't it? If your deer has no reason to be dancing, he can just be looking for some grass somewhere, eating. Huh? Yeah, that means he's relishing the kirtana of Radha and Krishna, you can see that. So, I don't know whether you saw. So these are all, you can see it comes from the Purva Jana. You saw this?
नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानंद बता नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानंद रूपम लसत्कुंडलं गोकुले ब्रज मानम यशोदाभियोलुखलाब्दा वमानम परमृष्टमत्यन्ततोद्रुते गोप्या रुदन्तमुहुर्नेत्रयुग्मं व्रजन्तं करम्भोजयुग्मेन शातङ्क नेत्रं मुहुश्वासकम्पात्रिरेखाङ्क कण्ठं स्थितग्रैव दामोदरं भक्ति बद्धम् इति दृक्स्वलीलाभिरानन्द कुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तमाख्या पयन्त तदीयेषु तग्नेषु भक्तैः जितत्वम जितत्वम होता है, जित्यम नहीं होता है.
So they saw this child. Huh? See, generally children speak words after the 2.5 or 3. This child is just about 4 or 5 months old child. Huh? For a 4 or 5 months old child to not only speak words, but also speak the correct word. It's not very easy. These are all proofs that some great soul has come into the body of this child. Correct, no? So I showed you some soul entering dog's body, some soul entering in a devotee family like this. So we all are moving from one life to another life. In this life, you got some mother, father, and the next life, you will move out of this body and go to another family elsewhere, speaking another language. You will get other set of parents. Similarly, the man and woman are brought together in marriage tie, a sacred tie, and it is actually a lifetime contract. Huh? In this whole life, two souls have come together. They have to be like spiritual partners. Huh? They have to help one another, to assist one another in inducing each other's devotional service, to make it better. Just like in brahmacharis, they make friendships with other brahmacharis to read together, chant together, and grow in devotional service. Similarly, in family life also, there are two goals for which one enters family life. One is we have some propensity for enjoyment which we want to purify by accepting the family order. Huh? At the same time, you also have to advance in spiritual life. So I'll take some questions. Here is the question. Prabhuji, we hear not get attached to wife and family. What is the difference between affection and attachment? Very good question. Very important question, actually. It is said one should be affectionate but not attached. One should be detached but not indifferent, it is said. So let me first tell you the second one. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, leaving behind a widowed mother and a beautiful and submissive wife, correct, no? At the age of 24. But then Mahaprabhu came to Shantipur and met his mother for 10 days. How many of you know that? Correct? After sannyas. So those 10 days, Sachimata requested all Vaishnavas, my son is back here. So all of you Vaishnavas, please permit me to cook for him coming 10 days. And all Vaishnavas fell on the ground flat and told her, oh mother, you are the mother of the universe. Whatever you desire, let it happen. You only can cook for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all the 10 days. So she cooked. So those 10 days Mahaprabhu spent with all the Vaishnavas. And one of the days, Sachimata cried and then she talked to him. And then Mahaprabhu said, oh, my dear mother, I am your property. I will do what you say and I will go where you send me. And I foolishly took sannyas in a haste, out of over enthusiasm. And if you tell me to come back home now, I am ready to come back now, he said. Because Mahaprabhu knew that she will not call him back. Because in those days, once you take sannyas, there is no question of coming back. But that's the way he spoke. So emotionally, she was touched by that. And all 10 days, Mahaprabhu ate from her hands. And mother said, Beta, how can you leave your sannyas? That's not proper. You have to continue to be sannyasi. But you stay at Jagannath Puri, which is not very far. Bengali Vaishnavas will come to Puri and some people will come back and give me some news about you. If you go too far away to Vrindavan, I will never get any news about you. And Mahaprabhu agreed to stay in Puri. You can see that. So here Mahaprabhu is detached but not indifferent. Is it clear? He is detached but not indifferent. Indifferent means what? You just don't care about the mother. Now I am sannyasi, don't even look at me now, get lost. Now the Jains or the Mayavadis, once they go to renounced order, they never even go to home or see any relatives. Absolutely. They are not allowed to even see the face also. That is why you can see, any of you have seen Jain people joining the order, there will be a lot of weeping and crying. You have seen that? Why? Because that's the last time they can see them. Then you cannot see after that. In ISKCON, Prabhupada didn't make like that. In ISKCON, even sannyasis, brahmacharis also see their parents. Because our movement is not about only detachment. Our movement is all about 7.1 Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, Mai asakta manaha partha. You develop attachment to Krishna and connect all your relatives also to Krishna. So we don't have to be indifferent to relatives. We have to be detached at the same time. So now let's come to the other point. How to be affectionate and not be attached. See, what is the difference between these two? If you are attached, you become a slave. Your goal is sense gratification. And you become slack and lose in your Krishna consciousness. And you become attached. We'll give some practical examples for this. Now, Dasharatha, was he affectionate to Kaikeyi or attached? Attached. He became like henpecked husband. He had to send Rama to forest. Actually, Kaushalya wanted the Bharat to become king and Rama to stay back and not be sent to forest. Dasharatha could have done that. But because Kaikeyi was insistent, he couldn't say no to her. Because he had become a slave of her. So attachment makes us slave of sense gratification. That is one symptom. Another example, Uttanapad. When Suruchi did not allow Dhruva to sit on the other lap, and Dhruva became shattered, his lips were quivering, body was trembling. Did Uttanapad correct Suruchi? He didn't correct. Why? He thought, she is my beautiful wife, I am attached to her. If I correct her, she'll become angry with me and she won't give me sense gratification. So then he thought, he looked at his wife and kept quiet because of attachment. That means attachment makes you so blind that he allowed a 5-year-old son to go to forest. Can you imagine? He didn't care about that son. He abused the child in that sense. And he also became a play toy in the hands of his wife. He became weak-minded. Attachment makes you weak. Attachment makes you slave. Attachment makes you blind. Attachment at the end brings misery as the end result. These are all attachments. Now let us take an example of affection. Somebody who is truly affectionate. Affectionate relative means you will do what is good for the other person in the long run. You know. For example, a mother went to the doctor. Doctor said, your son has typhoid. 21 days, no pakoda, no bhaji, no puri. She said. She came home and one of the days she was making pakoda, bhaji, puri and all. The son came running to kitchen. Mama, long time I didn't eat all these things. Please, can you give me bhaji? She said, doctor has told you no. Now only 1 week is over. 21 days you are supposed to not touch this. And son said, no, doctor is not around here. You please give me. Mother said, no, you cannot eat it. She was strict about it. She said, don't come and smell the bhaji and ask for it. Go away from here. Because if you get the smell, you'll be more tempted. Correct, no? Go away. So the boy was crying, lying on the ground, waving his hands. But mother would still not give him. She would scold him even more. And then later on, mother went to the market to buy something. Then the boy went to his elder sister. He told her sister, sister, you are more compassionate than the mother. Please go to the kitchen and get me that. And she very readily went inside and gave him all pakoda, puri, bhaji, everything. And the boy, after eating, he had fallen. Mother came and asked, what happened? She said, I also don't know what happened. Then the whole story came out. Then the mother gave a good slap to the sister. You foolish girl, don't you know, you think I'm not compassionate? He's not supposed to eat. So that means in affection, you don't show false compassion. In affection, you will do what is good for the child, correct? No? She has affection for the boy. After all, mother has a natural affection. But she's not attached to the boy. She's not becoming his slave. She's doing what is good for him. She can administer good for him, you see. Similarly, Yudhishthir Maharaj, I will show about his affection. So all the Pandava brothers, many times they were very angry with Yudhishthir Maharaj's decisions, But they had so much affection and respect for him, they could not protest against him. He was such a religiously so strong. He was such a dharmic personality. One day, Yudhishthir Maharaj in the forest was in the bank of a river. It was a very shady forest. He was lying on the ground, practically in the mud only. Mud means a dry mud. He was keeping his head. And all the Brahmanas were all chanting the Vedic mantras. One could hear the mantra in the forest, very loud chant. He was hearing that. And birds were chirping, and the river water flowing sound could be heard. And Yudhishthira Maharaj was completely joyful. He was smiling and closing his eyes and relishing all this. And Draupadi went to Bhima and said, Bhima, look at this personality. He is the king of the world. His head is touching the mud. What a shameful thing, you see. He's supposed to sit on the throne and rule the world, carrying the scepter in his hand. And he's lying on the ground, you see. 3 years have passed in the forest. How long are we going to go on like this, Bhima? What do you think? She said. Bhima said, I am also feeling like you only. He said, I also wonder why this personality is like this. If he just gives me one finger nod, go ahead, I will take the gada and run immediately. I will hit on the head of Duryodhana, Dushasana, Shakuni, Karna, pat, I'll finish them. In one shot, I'll finish them. But this personality, he doesn't allow me. He has bound my hands and legs. What can I do? So they both were talking like this. At that time, Yudhishthira Maharaj overheard them because in forest, there's no other sound you can hear well. So he called, come here. Both of them he called. Yeah. He said, Draupadi, don't you know, anger is the root cause of all misery. He said, if you become anger is one letter short of danger. You are becoming angry unnecessarily. He said, according to Dharma, 12 years we are supposed to be in the forest. Now only 3 years are over. You need to be patient. We have committed some mistakes from our side. We are in the forest now. While you are in forest, find out what best we can do here. I am learning some things from the saintly persons. Arjuna is going and getting celestial weapons. Bhima made a connection with Hanumanji. Everybody is doing something constructive in the forest. They are not wasting our time. And also, this period we have to pass through. If Krishna wants us to be in the forest, we will be in the forest. If Krishna wants us to be on the throne, we will be on the throne. But you should not become unnecessarily angry. Angry for nothing. Because we don't deserve the throne at the moment. So what is not meant for you, then you should forget it. Don't unnecessarily aspire for it and be greedy like this. And he told Bhima also, this greed will do no good for you. It will only burn your heart. Give up this greed and focus on dharma. And both the parties nodded their head. Thank you, we understood now, thank you. Now we will give up. So here is Yudhishthira Maharaj. He has genuine affection for every one of his brothers and his good wife also. But in that affection, he didn't become a slave of them. He didn't become a slave of their greed and their anger and be subjected to that. You see? So, in this way, in affection, you can bring about the ultimate good. You can stick to the path of dharma. You can lead a immature subordinate, not become a slave of that immaturity of the subordinate, but you can lead a mature subordinate to the right path. That is affection. So, in between husband and wife in a family, like for example, see, you have some attraction for the opposite sex, otherwise why will you go for the married life? Correct, no? There is some attraction, undoubtedly. But that attraction has to be coupled with dharma also, in such a manner that affection doesn't plunge you in the ocean of Maya. Correct, no? And therefore, there is some regulation kept. Like you come in a religious tie, sacred tie of marriage, and within married life, your counselors will teach you what is permissible and how can a man and woman who have come together can associate in such a way that they will not be carried away by the current of Maya. But there's a deity worship prescribed, there is charity prescribed, there is Sadhu Sanga prescribed, celebrating festivals for the deity prescribed at home, honorably earning money, not by cheating, and coming in satsang. So all these things are prescribed. Along with that, when one associates with one's wife and children, one can keep moderation in sense gratification in such a manner that one will not get carried by the current of Maya and become attached. Correct, no? So attachment is condemned, but affection is glorified. Prabhupada says affection is the symptom of the soul. If you have no affection also, then you are a stone only. Then you are a dead stone. Affection is natural. But attachment, plunges us in Maya. Is it clear now? I have another 3-4 minutes. I can take one more question. So in summary, what I spoke today, in the beginning, few examples I gave were about what? You remember? Grabbing versus giving. You will be shocked in Prabhupada's purpose, how much percentage Prabhupada says one should give to Krishna service? Everybody knows it in ISKCON, but nobody will talk about it. Only Prabhupada can talk. And not only that, Prabhupada is repeatedly talking in many, many purports. So one devotee told Prabhupada, 50% of our earning, if we give it away to temple, then there is no possibility for sense gratification. Prabhupada said, yes, that's the point. So I know Grihasta couples who give 50% to Krishna service completely, and their home is a temple only. Go to their home and see. They are in America. There is one couple. They give 50% of their money. They are using it in constructing a temple near their house. They're investing their money and also congregation's money also in making a temple there. Round the clock they are preaching morning, evening, and their children are also fully into preaching. So this way, now we are not telling all of you, you give 50%. We are not telling that. I have told here in Pune community, 10% should be given to temple. That's a very good habit. And then another 20-30% you may use for your own devotional expenditure, like going for yatras, traveling to yatra, making altar at home, putting up festivals and feeding prasad, all those things. But temple, you should have a habit of. One devotee was telling, Prabhu, after 10 years, when we become economically sound, then we want to give a lot of donation. Big amounts we want to give. I said it is better to give small right from now. Than give a very big amount later. And that big amount never comes. It will go to next life, I think. Hmm? So always keep giving. Even the boys who are joining temple full-time brahmacharis, one boy told me, Prabhuji, anyway, I am only joining full-time, Prabhu. I am giving myself. Is it necessary for me to donate? I told him, see, you may not donate a big amount. If you can't give at least 5%, you should give. You are a Gauranga Sabha boy. At least 5% you should give. And those who are going to marry, they should give at least 10%. Those who are having big jobs, earning a good sums of salary, which you all know, I don't have to tell you how much, they can give 20% also easily. You see, for example, if somebody is making 2 lakhs per month or 3 lakhs per month, there are people like that. Even if they give 20%, still they have enough for running the family. Correct or not? Correct, no? They can give. Those are drawing less salaries. For them to give big percentage will be difficult. If somebody is drawing 50,000 per month or 60,000 per month, they can't give 50%. They can give 10%, they can give. But those who are drawing, if somebody is going to America, they can give 25% at least. 25-30%. Because and if they are not giving, they are going to use it for sense gratification. Guaranteed. So that was one point I was speaking in the beginning. Then later, second point, I spoke about Sadhu Sanga. You remember that? You told about being affectionate from a mother and child example. But in relationship of husband-wife, if partner didn't listen, then what to do? So, what my spiritual master told, I have heard about this from my spiritual master, that say for example, wife is in this platform spiritually, husband is in this platform. Husband still has some bodily needs, but wife is spiritually advanced. She has no interest in bodily attachments. She is not at all inclined to that. She's spiritually advanced. But if there is a mismatch between the two, so what my Guru Maharaj says, he says that she can reduce her standard with some spiritual demand from him. Like for example, if he's chanting 4 rounds, she tells him, you come to 16 rounds, then I will reduce my standard for you. And then they both come to the same standard. And because this fellow has come here now, they both are same level. Now she also grows in spiritual life, they both grow at a certain level, and then they come to this standard. And both of them lose bodily attractions. Generally, see 25 to 50, if you see, 25 to 35 is the age of begetting children and all, raising, correct? No? Then 35 to 45 the stage children are growing up now, and just going to school and everything. The attention of the parents turns towards children more than each other. Generally, between 25 to 35, attention is towards each other. But after 30 to 30, 35, attention is towards children. And beyond 45, no more attention to children also, because they are all teenagers now. And they tell you, please don't disturb us. We will take care of ourselves. Then husband and wife are now almost free after 45 or 50. Then their attention return to Krishna. Right now. First, this is attention here, and attention here, attention here. You'll remember this, isn't it? That is a good family. Correct now? But if somebody is not advanced spiritually, then attention will be like this only always. Till one fellow became recently 75, he lost his wife, he was crying. Now within 3 months, he has married another wife now. At the age of 75. I was shocked. My Lord, at this stage, he's having second marriage now. So, because he has not developed a higher taste, correct now? So, now your person, one example I'll tell you. One Mataji, her husband was eating meat, not a devotee. And this Mataji is 16, not a devotee. So husband was telling her to cook meat. Is it not difficult for her? She knows, in every body there is a similar type of soul. She cannot cut the fish. She cannot cut the flesh and cook it. She came and wept to the counselor. The counselor said, see, you have been cooking meat before. Now you become a devotee now. You cook for some time for him, and then gradually he will change. So she continued to cook for maybe 3 months or 6 months or so. And the husband saw her very submissive nature. He saw her with tilak, going to classes, chanting Hare Krishna. And one day he told his wife, I know you are not very happy cooking this for me. It's a great pain for you. Don't worry, now I'll eat in hotel now. So you cook only vegetarian at home. So he changed his mind after that because of her submissive nature. Now here she cooperated with him for some time, and then the husband gradually changed like that. So see, in Brahmacharya ashram, what happens Brahmachari? It is me and me only. I don't have to worry about anybody. Correct? No? If I want to advance in spiritual life, I can advance by taking in what I need. And the other hand, in Grihasta ashram, what happens? Husband and wife are like, one soul in two bodies. It's like that. You've seen the Ardhanarishwar, you've seen? Half Shiva and half Parvati. So husband wife have to be like one unit. So wife should not become proud that I am spiritually very advanced and husband is a materially attached conditioned soul. It's not very good to say like that. If she sees like that, sometimes what happens, the wife gets up in the morning and goes to temple, Mangalarati, to Bhagavatam class, and the husband is at home. One husband came and directly came to me and complained. स्वामी जी आप क्या सिखाते हैं मंदिर में, हमारे ऊपर ध्यान नहीं देते, कृष्ण के पीछे भागती है. She was telling. Then I called both of them and said, Mataji, see, you have to first please the members of the family. Get up in the morning, cook the food and keep for the husband, children, send them to school. No, Prabhu, I have so many spiritual duties in the temple. I have to do this service, that service. Actually, wife should know how to keep the family members happy, and along with that, do devotion service also. Like women get more time after 11 o'clock or so. After children are gone to school, husband has gone to office. She gets between 11 to 2 or something like that. They get their personal time and they can do reading or they can have classes and things like that. A woman should not make a show of spiritual life in the early morning by neglecting the husband and children. Otherwise, the family will be a disturbed family. Especially in-laws will do tandav. If they see, आप ISKCON के लोगों ने हमारे हमारे बहू को बिगाड़ दिया, घर में कुछ काम नहीं कर, सबसे वो मंदिर में आकर करती है. They will shout like that. What happens to a person who accumulates money by cheating government, corruption? What kind of karma does he get if he uses such money for maintaining the family? Actually, this is a very big subject, but I'll keep it brief. For example, if somebody is working in a company and there is a possibility of making double or triple money by corruption, one should not go for it because money dishonestly earned will lead to tremendous mental problems. You will not be able to be peaceful. Anytime the company detects it, they will lay you off from the job and black mark you. And tomorrow you will find it very difficult to get a job other places. One example I tell you, one IT company fellow was releasing secrets to rival company. For one secret, he got 1 lakh rupees. See, he was himself earning 1 lakh per month. So yearly he takes 12 lakhs, correct no? Now he released the 6 secrets in 1 year. So he made that year 18 lakhs. And he was very happy. But then the parent company saw that, the rival company is skyrocketing and we are nosediving. So they were surprised. Whatever ideas we research and do development, and those guys are implementing. How is that happening? Very soon they found out here is the black sheep. They spotted him out and they laid him off with a black mark. And this fellow didn't mind. He thought that I have experience, I can go to any company. But wherever he went, those people came to know from his parent company that he did this. So 3 years he didn't get job. Can you imagine? Huh? Then at last he came to the rival company and said, hey, for you guys only I did this. You admit me in your company. They said, that is the door, get lost. They also said. They said, if you do this to your parent company, what is the assurance you won't do it to us tomorrow? They also didn't take. So he lost 36 lakhs. He earned 6 lakhs. Now he lost. Yeah. So the cost you have to pay for cheating is very heavy, I can tell you. Ill repute. That comes. It's very, very dangerous. One is ill repute, you're laid off from the job. Okay, now I'll tell you another example. Sometimes in a bank, they give a loan to some big corporation. And the corporation gives them a gift of 2 lakh rupees to them. Because so many people put for tender and you gave us. And then 4 people are dividing that amount. 50, 50, 50, 50 in the same department who gave. And you know that this company is giving 2 lakh because we gave loan to them and not to others. Correct, no? This is also corruption only. Because if you gave loan to A, then you don't get any money, but your company benefits. You understand, no? But if you give loan to B, you guys get 2 lakh, 4 of you, and then the company loses 2 lakhs. You understand, no? That's how they give in bribe and all. So then what happens? Then if you take that money, it's corruption money. So I have heard from my special master and seniors in Bombay, that 50,000 rupees you should not use for yourself. You should take it and directly go to temple and put in hundi. So it's black money. And if you don't take that money, the other 3 fellows will be very upset with you. Because they'll be afraid that we are doing something and this fellow is not cooperating like that. So, and that money may be harmless. It's not going to go to company, any problem or something. But you cannot use that money because you are not earning that money legally. So therefore, you directly go and give it to Krishna. You don't touch it. Then you are not afflicted by sin. So money should be honorably earned. We cannot earn by cheating. A grihasta means we should earn the money honorably. It's very important. Atmanga Prabhu, they are hungry for prasad now. I can take some more 2, 3 questions. Huh? So sometimes we can see that the potential partner is a good devotee, following everything nicely, but there are differences in behavioral aspects. While I aspire to be like that partner, I know that I am still not at that level. What should be done? Should we go ahead and get married to such a partner? Actually, the behavior of husband-wife will not be exactly the same. In behavioral aspects, there will be differences. So generally when they match an husband, for example, say both of them have a life, they want a life of simplicity, simple living, high thinking. If both of them want to be sincerely practicing devotees, if both of them, want to stay in a community of devotees, and they would like to join the counselor meetings regularly, and they both and both of them have a spiritual taste, then that means it's yata ruchi yata mati. 2 things are said. Your taste should match, temperament should match. And what is taste match? Say for example, if one has material taste and the other one has spiritual taste, it's very dangerous. Because like for example, sometimes one boy, devotee boy, got married to a caste girl of the same caste. And she's coming with jeans and t-shirt. And he is wearing dhoti kurta and tilak. And he was shocked there. And she wants him to go for parties and all. And he says, I'm not interested in going to parties. And he wants her to come to temple and she's not interested to come to temple. So it became a problem for them. After the marriage, there's a big fight between the two. That means the ruchis are different. But amongst devotees, for example, a girl may want to go a bit slow in spiritual life. She's pious but she doesn't want to go too fast. But the husband may be too fast. She can tell him, see, Prabhu, you can go at your pace. I don't mind. But allow me to come at my pace. And the husband is an understandable man. He will give her space. Then there can be a good match. Or if wife is super advanced and husband is not so much, again the same principle. But both are spiritual minded. But material minded, spiritual minded is like bringing water and fire together. Either fire will be extinguished or the fire will evaporate the water. Correct, no? It will be like that. It's very so. Therefore, yatha ruchi. The taste is very important. Husband wife should have both spiritual taste. At least one of the two should be pious. At least not antagonistic to Krishna. Like for example, one girl is a devotee. She is marrying a boy who is not averse to ISKCON. He comes to ISKCON. He's chanting 1 or 2 rounds. He's chanting. He likes devotees. He's not a serious devotee boy, but she can marry him, no problem, because he's not in the Asura Jati, correct, no? Asuras means ISKCON, Hare Krishna, you'll get wild. Correct, no? Yeah. Yeah. Now this is Ruchi. What is Mati? Mati means the temperament. Out of the two, for example, one should be mild natured, other one can be strong. There is no problem. For example, husband is strong, wife is mild. No problem. Our wife is strong, husband is mild. That is also no problem. And both are mild. That's also very good. But both strong, then the sound will come. That is no good. Garam, naram, we say, no? Both naram, all right. One naram, one garam, no problem. Both garam, that's not good. So both are like asura, we call it as asuragan. So that is very dangerous. One devagan, one asuragan goes on in families. For example, sometimes the wife is good looking, but she is asuragan internally. Externally, she may be good looking, but internally asuragan. And the husband is a normal looking externally, but he is devagan, for example. But because he becomes attached to his wife, even she shouts also no problem. Life goes on. She can shout and he is mild, no problem. Goes. But both are garam. They go for separation, divorce. So that is mati. Yata ruchi, yata mati. This is given in Bhagavatam, these two considerations. Temperament and taste. Taste and temperament. These two are the main considerations. So it's getting late. You're all hungry for prasad, I think. In today's youth, girls question that what's wrong in having a boyfriend as we plan to get married in future? Wouldn't this be counted as chaste? See, a girl is allowed to choose a boy and suggest the boy's name to the parents. That is called as, there is freedom for choice of the boy, but there is no freedom for free mixing. That's the reason for that. Actually, in my YouTube channel, Shivaji Prabhu gets many questions which he forwards to me. One girl had asked a question that, Prabhu, in my college days, I connected with the boy and we had become gradually more and more intimate up to the point of physical connection. And now my parents are not allowing me to marry that boy. Now they have seen another boy, and this another boy is a devotee boy. And he is standing 16 rounds wearing dhoti kurta and everything, And I don't know, I am just now coming into devotion service. I am just chanting 1 round only. And before this, I have been completely contaminated by that association. Now they are telling me to marry this boy. I feel like a prostitute. I was sleeping with another man. Now I have to go to another man. I'm totally shattered. What I should do? So I told her, see, you did a mistake of connecting with another boy without blessing and permission of your parents. Therefore, all these nasty things happen in your life. And now you are entering into another family now. So this is austerity for you to connect with this. And this is austerity because parents know that you are connected to him. So they want you to connect to this person. So begin your life like a new chapter. And proceed with your life like this. And because without permission and blessing of parents, no girl can run away with a boy because your future will create a lot of problems for you. You will not have economic security. You will not have social security. And tomorrow, if something happens to the husband, you will become a orphan in this society. Huh? So it's always good for both boys and girls to remain under the umbrella of the parents. Even we people also in marriage bureau, we choose and suggest, but we don't interfere. We tell both the parents to meet. They have to be involved. Because if we decide for you, parents will do Rudra Tandav. Yes. अच्छा हमारे बेटे को आपने देखा मैच वी विल बी इन बिग ट्रबल ये किसका बेटा है हमारा बेटा आपका बेटा है लास्ट लाइक दैट वी विल बी इन बिग ट्रबल वी जस्ट सजेस्ट देम सो वन फादर इज आस्किंग मी मैंने देखा आपके पास मैरिज ब्यूरो है मैचिंग वगैरह करते हैं आई टोल्ड हिम मैच हम कैसे कर सकते हैं हम ये सुझाव देते हैं माता पिता को ये उनकी मर्जी है देन ही सर हाँ सही है ये सही है नहीं said like that. So sometimes boys and girls think what's wrong with a boyfriend or a girlfriend. This is wrong because you will start with a handshake, you will end with abortion or anything in between. So it's very dangerous. So actually speaking, marriage should in the Vedic time means a girl would be 11 or 12, boy would be 14 or 15. The marriage would be done, but they won't stay together. Girl goes to parents' home, boy goes to his parents' home. And the girl always thinks of the husband. I have a husband, I have a husband. He is the man. He's my husband. That identity becomes very strong. And for the boy also, hey, now that I'm married, I have to become responsible now. I have to do a job and make money. He becomes super responsible. And when he becomes 18 or 20, then the girl attains puberty, then they stay together and they get children, 2, 3 children. And then by 22, 23, they have 2, 3 children, they have, and their attention goes to children after that. But unfortunately, in modern times nowadays, boys marry at the age of 33 also nowadays. 32, 33. Girls are 28, 29. Before that, they have connected with 3, 4 people and broken love also. Horrible thing. So therefore, my suggestion to all of you as devotees, even if you like a boy or a girl, you can suggest to your parents and wait for the parents to decide your marriage. And you don't decide for yourself. Otherwise, you will have to have a tragedy in life. Otherwise, no. What is fanaticism in Grihasta life? Fanaticism means, you be strict with yourself and be lenient with others. That is a general principle, correct principle. Fanaticism means trying to clone others to be like oneself. In everything you do. Like one husband, a fanatical husband. His wife was a new girl and she was not, devotee. He told her that, because you are not a devotee all these years, I have to make you a serious devotee now. So here is a bead bag, chant the holy name. She would go into bathroom and she would bat at the door and say, even in bathroom also you should call out the holy name. The wife got fed up. She came out and said, I can't live with a man like this. I am going to my parents' home. She went to her parents' home. There she met her old friend. And who she came to know that she's also a devotee. But she was a wonderful devotee. She gave her a copy of Ishopanishad and spoke to her. The next 6 months, she became a wonderful devotee. Nicely preached by her friend. Then she came to her husband back. And she said, see, now I am also a devotee, not like you. She told them. So that is example of a fanatic. Because some people are very immature fellows. They don't know how to put the right thing in a right manner, inspiring. So my Guru Maharaj used to say, you have to actually inspire the people to become devotees, not just to push down the throat. Last question. You have explained the ideal devotional life of a woman, which I want to follow, but what is suggestion for working women to balance spiritual plus householder plus working life? See, in my observation, many different sannyasis and gurus and senior brahmacharis also have their own viewpoint on women doing job. And I will tell you my understanding based on Prabhupada's writings and everything. Ideally speaking, if a woman can be a homemaker at home, that will do the best thing to the family, because the Shastras say that a hand that moves the cradle can make or break the house, it says. So a woman is the one who moves the cradle of the child. So she can make the in-laws happy, she can make husband happy, she can make children happy, but she has to have a cool mind. But if a woman is at home, morning after everybody goes to office and school and all, she gets her time. She can wash the pots and she can clean the house, wash the clothes. And she has time for chanting, reading Bhagavatam, meeting her other devotee friends. Then afternoon, she becomes busy with receiving the child back and receiving the husband, caring for the old in-laws. A lot of time is required. Homemaking itself is a very big art. Now, then a wife is available at home, having prepared some tiffin or something. Husband comes back, she is cheerfully receiving him because she has no other tension. But if wife goes to office, then morning to evening she is working. Husband is returning with a face full of tension, and she is also in tension. Both are in tension when they come back. And why do they need so much money? Because then they have to work on expenditure. Cut down the expenditure, cut the costs. One man is bringing money. One is a breadwinner, one is a homemaker. This is a good combination. And that breadwinner preferably should be man. Because a woman is a breadwinner and husband becomes homemaker, then that woman dominating the husband is not a good family. It's not Vedic. But a woman can be homemaker, it is best. But one Mataji told me, she was an MBA. She said, Radheshyam Prabhu, how can a woman who has made an MBA career, how she can be sitting at home as a homemaker? How is it possible? So then I told Mataji, you can work, no problem. So some women are very passionate about their career. What can we say? Then after that, I told her, try to do a job for 4 hours a day. She said, 4 hours, who will give me a job at 4 or 5 hours? You can do a part-time job kind of thing because you can't sit at home. She said, if I sit at home, I have to look at the in-laws. She said, okay, go out. You don't have to see them. Do a job 4 hours, 5 hours. But once a child comes, see, what I'm speaking with realization because my mother used to put me in the bus, school bus. Evening, she would be there to welcome me back. She'd come to the bus stop, pick me up, bring me to home. And we would be so happy to see her smiling face like a goddess of fortune. She would bathe us and then feed us. And I will have so many things from the school to share with her. Blah, 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 blah. And she will be hearing patiently everything. If a child doesn't get that pampering, the child cannot grow as a great personality. Those who have received love only can actually become very exalted in life. So nowadays, unfortunately, both man and woman are going for job. Child gets Aya's attention. Aya means nowadays that servant maid, servant maid's attention. So servant maid. If you see servant maids, they take salary. I don't know whether they will really give that quality attention to child. Correct? No. Can they match mother? No way. Not possible. Sometimes husband wife have to work when there is a very great economic crunch in the family. That should be apadharma. Apadharma means it's not that you can have apadharma whole life. Apadharma is 1, 2, 3 years. Wife also goes for a job. She makes money. Or I tell the girls that, when you are a student, you pass out, you do job. Until you marry, you do job. And then once the child comes, you stop job. After that, you give attention to child and husband and in-laws. Like that I say. So in that way, then they will get time. You only have family duties and devotional duty. And husband has professional duty and devotional duty. And family part you are sharing. So wife takes care of most of the family duties. So husband doesn't have to take tension at all. So very good questions actually. Many sincere questions. So I'm supposed to take one workshop which I opened, but I didn't go into that workshop. Some other time in future, Atmanagaram can remind me, I will do that another time when I come. Shri Prabhupada ki, Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki.
Radheshyam Prabhu ki